Hi, my name's Mark. I'd like to talk to you about a program that I recently purchased online. It's called Trick Photography and Special Effects by Evan Charbonneau. Please be sure to stick through till the end of this video, because at the end I'm going to have a really good bonus for you, and you're not going to find out about it unless you stick around. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get into it and show you what this is all about. Alright, so Trick Photography and Special Effects, like I mentioned, it's a program that I just recently purchased online, and I'll tell you, I was a little bit hesitant at first. The cost is $47, which it's not a huge amount of money, but initially I wasn't really sure if it was going to be worth the cost, and I'll tell you, as soon as I got the program, it was pretty quick that I decided that the cost was not an issue. There is way more value than $47 inside this program. So let me give you kind of an overview of what's included and why I think it's worth the money. Plus, as I mentioned, there is a bonus if you stick through till the end. So in my opinion, that bonus that I'm going to give you, it takes care of any shortcomings that you might find in the program, or at least the biggest shortcoming that I've seen in it. So anyway, these are some samples. I'm sure you've seen some of these online if you've taken a look at this program at all. Evan teaches you in detail how to do all of this kind of thing, and even though it is going to take you some practice to really get this type of quality that you're seeing here, to me that's a lot of the fun. If you've looked at my site, you might have seen some of the photos that I've done. There's not a whole lot on there yet, but I'll keep adding to it. You can tell I'm not an expert photographer by any means. It's just something that I like to do for fun. I think that I'm getting better. I think that I'm improving, and this program is really helping me, at least with the trick photography type stuff. So what does it cover? You get a 290-page ebook, which includes a whole lot, just a few of the things that are there. Light painting and long exposures. To me, that's one of the funnest parts of the whole thing. In-camera illusions, that basically means that you don't need any kind of post-processing, any kind of software to do it. High-speed photography, so let me back up, and that's the kind of thing that he's talking about there. So he teaches you the techniques to take those kind of photos. HDR photography, panoramas, those can be a lot of fun. Multiplicity, which means that you've got an example. There's one on my site where you see me sitting on the couch in a few different spots. There's another one that I did that's a Homer Simpson alarm clock. I know, kind of corny, but it was just something that I did for practice. But that was one clock, and I just had the same thing appear several times in the same photo. So that's a technique he teaches you here. Photoshop projects, and like I mentioned, there's a bonus coming up at the end, a sneak preview of what that's about. You're not going to need Photoshop. If you get my bonus, I'm going to take care of that for you. Not doing anything shady here. There's an alternative, and I'll talk about that here in just a bit. But there's some really cool things that you can do using either Photoshop or the alternative that I'm going to talk to you about here in a second. So, like I said, there's a whole lot in here, and you're not going to get bored. Beyond the book, there's over 9 hours of video. Plenty of stuff. The videos support the book. There is some overlap, but that's not a bad thing. You know, the book kind of explains how to do it in detail. The video shows you. So for myself, I like actually using both. Some people learn a little bit better from written material. Some learn better from video. I'm one of those people that I kind of get. I like the best of both worlds, and sometimes I'll even be reading while the video is playing in the background. And to me, that's for me the best way to learn. So anyway, so moving on to the bonus, you don't need Photoshop, like I mentioned, and the reason that's important, you probably already know if you've ever priced Photoshop. It costs about $700 for the newest version. You can get the older versions a little bit cheaper. The reason it's so expensive is that there are a lot of people downloading illegal copies of it. And the reason a lot of people are downloading illegal copies of it is because it's so expensive. So unfortunately, it's kind of a vicious circle. Personally, I don't really feel all that great about downloading something illegally. I'd much rather purchase it if I felt it was something that I need, but I don't really want to spend that kind of money. So instead, I got a free piece of software known as the GIMP. You may already know about the GIMP, but it's completely legal, completely free. There's nothing shady about this. It's something that it does almost everything you can do in Photoshop. If you're a professional, it may not be enough for you. You might need to get Photoshop if you are a professional photographer, but you probably already know that if that's the case. For the rest of us, the GIMP is probably going to do everything that we need. So I mentioned that my bonus is going to cover what I see as the biggest flaw in this program, and that is that he does mention that the GIMP is an alternative to Photoshop, but that's about the extent of it. You know, it would be nice to cover how to use the GIMP instead of Photoshop. So he gives a lot of instructionals on using Photoshop. That's where my bonus comes in. If you decide to purchase the program through my website, then I'm going to give you some videos that explain how to adapt the techniques that Evan uses in Photoshop to the GIMP. And that way you don't have to spend $700 on software, and you don't have to do something that isn't legal, that you may not feel all that comfortable about doing. You know, hopefully you'll decide to do the right thing and use either the free software, or if you really need Photoshop, I hope that you do decide that you'll pay for it. So anyway, instructions on how to get that bonus. These are important. Make sure you follow these, otherwise I'm not going to be able to provide you with those videos. But the first step, and probably the most important step, is clear your cookies. If you're not sure how to do that, there's a link below the video. At least if you're watching this on my site, there is a link below the video that will take you to some instructions on how to do that. If you are watching this on YouTube, there is a link to get to my site right below the video. So either way, you'll be able to get the instructions. Make sure you clear your cookies. Second step, kind of obvious, click the link to get to Evan's site so that you can make the purchase. And once you've done that, you'll receive an email confirming your purchase, and then you'll just need to forward me a copy of that email to mark@coolphotographytricks.com. And as soon as I receive that, I'll go ahead and get you those videos. Typically, you'll probably see that within about 24 hours. You know, give me a little bit of leeway there, but I'll get it to you as quickly as I possibly can. So once again, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for checking out my video. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope to see you soon. Have a great day.